In 2009, NASA launched the Kepler Space Telescope. Its mission? To discover terrestrial planets like our own. Although Kepler only focused on the postage stamp-sized section of the Milky Way, it ended up collecting a massive amount of information. Buried within this data, and uncovered by amateur astronomers years later, was one perplexing puzzle involving a distant star. This star, KIC 8462852, prompted 2 years' worth of scientific papers, news articles, TED Talks, and a whole lot of speculation. This is the mysterious case of Tabby star. Astronomy is one of the few scientific disciplines where amateurs can make a significant impact on scientific findings. When Kepler started sending back reams of data, Yale University launched a citizen science project called Planet Hunters to help the professionals sift through the information. Amateurs received the information as a series of data points scattered over days, measuring the relative brightness of stars. When a large object, like a planet, crosses a star's field, its brightness temporarily decreases. In 2015, several amateurs noticed extremely erratic dimming and brightening of one particular star. The dimming suggested a huge mass obstructing the star, but in very irregular intervals. Tabitha Boyajian, an astrophysicist at Yale University, was the first professional to analyze the data, prompting the star's nickname of Tabby star. She explained her findings in a paper titled Where's the Flux?, launching a slew of competing theories ranging from plausible to bizarre.
Search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
And very, very dark.
The big idea
is that when the planets pass in front of the star.
Of all these theories, 3 have gotten the most attention from astronomers and the press. I've enlisted 3 local astronomers from North Carolina to discuss each of the 3 prevailing theories, because who better to explain an astronomy mystery than by the people that love and understand the sky the best? Theory number 1, comets and cosmic debris.
My name's Hillary Owino, and I live here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and I've been an amateur astronomer for about 5 years.
So have you heard of Tabby star?
Yes.
Have you heard of Tabitha Boyajian and her original theory?
Yes, I have.
Can you explain it for us?
Sure. A large group of disintegrating comets got trapped in the star's orbit, and they created a massive dust cloud that surrounds the planet. So the dust cloud is so thick it can obscure a lot of the light that the star emits.
So, this theory has a couple of problems. First, there would have to be a huge number of comets orbiting the star to cause a noticeable dip in its light. Second, even if there was a massive collection of comets, this only explains the occasional dips in its brightness, and not the gradual dimming over time it's experiencing as well. Theory number 2, the Dyson sphere. When did you first become interested in astronomy?
It has been a lifelong interest,
Okay.
Really more from kind of the sci-fi aspect of it, but in my, say, mid to early 20s, really started investigating, this is actually something I can do, and started looking at telescopes and things like that.
Are you a science fiction fan?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Do you know what a Dyson sphere is?
Yes, I do.
Respected astrophysicist Jason Wright from Penn State created a major stir in 2015 when he suggested the star could be surrounded by an enormous alien megastructure known as a Dyson sphere, a concept popularized by physicist Freeman Dyson. Never heard of a Dyson sphere? Well, luckily we have an experienced astronomer and confirmed science fiction fan to explain it to us.
How they built this structure around an entire star to capture 100% of the energy coming from it.
So there's obviously more than one snag in this theory.
But what I do find a little interesting is that there aren't enough materials in an entire solar system to build a sphere around a star.
So why did Jason Wright propose such an outlandish theory?
It's a way to make it accessible to people. So, it's not that, yes, there was a Dyson sphere, it's just scientifically we don't know of anything today that could cause this star to dim and brighten at the extent that it did. It's beyond what we understand is possible. So.
Theory number 3, planetary collision. safe to say you're an expert on stars.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, I would say I'm one of the rare astronomers that studies stars, because most people in astronomy...
Dr. Poole and I discuss a recent paper written by researchers from Berkeley and Columbia. They speculate planetary collision could be responsible for the star's strange dimming. So what's planetary collision?
The short answer is anytime planets smack into something else.
A planet could have become trapped by Tabby's gravitational pull. The level of stress placed on the planet is so great it begins to experience violent earthquakes.
Imagine as this earthquake gets more and more powerful, bits of Earth are going to start flying off. Imagine an egg, with a shell, but it has this, kind of yolk to it. And you're spinning, or you're putting some stress on that shell is just going to fly apart, and it's going to spread out. But the yolk's going to experience the same effect, but the yolk is pliable enough that it can warp around.
Not only would the remnants from the planet's outer crust orbit Tabby, but the star would also eventually swallow the remaining core, initiating a long process of brightening and dimming. So is this the final word on Tabby's star?
Ultimately, what they're trying to put forward is a possible mechanism that would explain what we're seeing today. It is one of many competing theories. It's just their opinion. And what will settle, like any scientific debate, it's an opinion that is settled by data. This is a generational problem, because we're talking about hundreds of years. Then, my kids, my grandkids, they would need to be, following up on this. And eventually the data will settle.
Currently, K2, Kepler's second mission, is underway, collecting data on stars and planetary bodies. The Citizen Science Project Planet Hunters has been included in 10 scientific papers and aided NASA in identifying 10 exoplanets. The curiosity, not only of scientists, but of ordinary people as well, propels science forward. We haven't solved the Tabby star mystery yet, but one day we will.